So now if I can start letting pressure off the spring. Oh yeah, that helped. That moved it. Keep forgetting that shaft is bent. Alright. Tell you what we'll do. If I can get this thing to do this. It's gonna be vomit cam for a minute. Yeah, read my hat. I've only got a few minutes left on this battery. So, okay, I'm sure you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm trying to line this up still with this, and so far it's somewhat working. So what I'm going to do now, the spring can move a little, but I'm going to jack this thing up a tad. See if I can get that to get a bit closer. See what that's doing there? That's actually moving. Okay, let me look what's going on because I can't see. And if I can't see, you can't see. No, that spring is now past that. And that's not going to work. Now let me tell you, you're not gonna, I can move the spring a little side to side. That's not my problem. My problem is making the spring twist. Get to where you can see what I'm talking about. My lights suck. Okay, there it is. See the spring? And it's actually past that tab. Tab's a little bit, it's behind it. So that's what my problem is. I can't have that. So, you kind of see what I'm doing though. I really don't know what I'm going to do to, because you're not going to turn that spring as long as there's that much weight on it. So I could actually let, so what I'll probably do is to let the suspension back down. And then start letting pressure off of the spring. That way it gets looser and looser, if you follow what I'm saying. Before I get too much, I'm gonna get a little more down. I'm actually off of it again, ain't I? No, it's still on it some. More off. Let's see what I got. I haven't looked in a bit. I'm sure it's not gotten any better. Oh no, it hasn't gotten any better at all. No. But I was able to move it after a lot of the pressure was off before, I was able to move that spring some with a pry bar. It doesn't do the rubber mounts any good, but pretty loose, so better be careful. So I don't want to clear off of it yet. I'm trying to make sure, as your time is running out, probably going to lose you here in a minute, is that thing is going to stay seated, top and bottom, which it looks like it is. So I'm pretty good with it. What I'm going to do, so I'm going to shut you off because you're going to die here in a minute anyway. I'm going to go ahead and take this loose, meaning the spring compressor, and get more weight on this, and then see if I can twist that spring just a bit. No guarantees. I can manipulate it a little bit, but for the most part, what I tried over here on this side was, once it was kind of where it was at, prying on it was the only way to make it do anything. Yeah, this is good on a brand new spring, ain't it? Now, I can move a car, but I can't move a spring. So, that was what I ran into on the other side too. I can manipulate it some with a pry bar, but not enough to... I mean, this really isn't going to hurt a whole lot, but I'd really rather it be where it belongs, if you know what I mean, because the spring really is designed to sit on that part. I mean, it's only maybe 1/4 inch. The other option is take everything back apart again, and let me try something that I did on the other side. You may be in the way, and now you probably can't see nothing if you're even still. 11 minutes. I got to be careful not to pull it out and kill me with it. I mean, it still is actually hooked up to the... Yeah, it's actually rolled that rubber anyway. It's not in the right place. It's closer. But since I moved it that, now I'd rather just move just this side. Ooh, just don't do it that way. It's not that it's going anywhere, but yeah, I'm not going to get it to do what I want it to. Like I said, the other option is to literally start from scratch, and you know what I mean. That's probably not a bad idea. I'm scared of messing with it anymore. It's almost completely down right now. The jack's just about bled all the way off. So I'm going to move right back where it was when I got messing with it. Like I said, if I could go ahead and jack the whole thing back up even more, take it back up, take this thing out of the way, and take the whole thing back down, rotate it a quarter, a half inch or whatever, and then start the whole process over again. And that's probably what I should do. But man, when I'm telling you I'm about done with this, I've been fighting these springs all day long. And this one was actually easy. This side, the other side was not. No other words can describe it. It was not easy. So, I'm calling it. It's good enough. Worst case scenario, I'll take it to get it aligned. If something's popping or making sounds that don't look right, and I'll have them fix it for me. They got the right tools for the job. They're the right one. They got all the right tools. I'm not that guy. Okay, so basically it's almost all the way down. The spring is all the way in. I got to put a shock on now, and then once the shock is in, I'll jack this thing up, put all the weight, actually take the body back off of the jack stand again, and I'm going to start tightening up suspension. I know they really want it completely loaded, but that may be a while before I can get to that point. I don't want to forget anything. Worst case scenario, I can loosen it back up and tighten it back down later. But I think it's fine. It's got quite a bit of weight on it when you think about it. When it lifts the jack stand up, you got all this corner weight on it. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and put the shock in. That's not terribly difficult to do. Then I'm going to tighten up the grease zerks where they're facing the right direction. And I'm going to tighten this up. This can be tightened up once you get your shims in there, because that doesn't ever move, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't move. So anyway, I do need to get a little bit of pressure off of it this direction. And get the shims all the way down. So, alright guys, I'll bring you back when it's getting more complete. I know I kind of showed you, or I told you I was going to show you to the end, but I got to get this tool back. I got to work the next 2 days. We're going to go camping this weekend. My wife and I are. We haven't had a chance to use our new camper yet. We've had it for several months. And what I found is a lot of the campgrounds around here are going to be closing here in a couple weeks. And won't reopen again until April. So, I'd like to use it before, the end of it. So, all right, guys, I'll bring you back here in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to call this part something. I'm not sure. Let's call it disc brakes. I don't know what else to call this. My last video, I had just got, maybe I don't even know how much I showed, because I was kind of in a fight trying to get this spring up. This went a whole lot better on this side, whether I said it or not. It's been a couple days. I don't remember what I was doing last, but anyway, so I just came back. I tightened everything up with a load on it that I could. I took the strut rods. At one video, whether I put it out or not, I was talking about the strut rods off the 6-cylinder compared to the V8. I don't think they're different. Everything appears to be the same. It's just the spindles were different at best guess. I don't know. And I think I also said that the top and bottom A-arms, they're the same part number for each side, meaning both bottoms are the same, both tops are the same, so it doesn't make any difference left or right, at least in the case of this particular 65. With that said, everything is as tight as it can be. Strut rods, I took off the V8 stuff that I had, and they are now soaking in the anti-rust garbage. I'm trying to get them cleaned up before I can, get them painted up and get them on there. Also don't have the bushings. I ordered them. Everything is taking forever to get here, which is entirely too bad. I also took the front sway bar off. It's laying over there on the floor. I don't have any bushings. I can get them local, so I didn't order those. But anyway, we're doing brakes right now. So I haven't really done anything. I was just trying to see
how this was going to go. This is I guess I should tell you what I'm even putting on there. This is Willwood. Basically, they're a drag light. They're a lighter weight, supposedly. Although the actual rotors seem pretty substantial. To me, a drag light would be like just a single thin. But this is actually double. I'll bring it over here after a bit. Right now, I'm not concerned about it. I'm just trying to get the brakes themselves on. But it's part number. It's 11.3 inch is what they're saying. Vented rotors. It's a part number 140-13476. I don't know if this is going to work, but it's specifically for 65 to 69 Ford Mustangs using drum disc spindles. That's why I had to buy the spindles put on. The 6-cylinder ones won't work. They're different. Here is different and everything. It doesn't make a difference. Okay, with that said, I kind of glanced through this. They're kind of having you look for some things, and I'm going to be honest, 68 to 69 need some type of a modification done to them, and I'm not sure what it is. I didn't really read it because it doesn't apply to me, but keep that in mind, as there may be some machining or something you have to do to make them work. But saying that, left side, driver's side, mounts up, angle, it shows you a 4-bolt pattern. And it shows you a 3-bolt pattern, apparently from 60, what did that say, 67, 68, 68, 69, whatever it is, actually uses a 3-bolt flange on the spindle instead of a 4. I don't know. This is a 4. So that's actually going to go here. I did check to make sure it looks like it's going to mount up. So, and this is kind of for the 68, 69, whatever you need to do to it. I'm more interested in seeing if this is all going to bolt up. So it gives you a parts list with all the part numbers. This is kind of important, especially when you get down here, because I was trying to figure out what the heck is going on, because when I opened up the box and started looking, it has 3 sets of mounting bolts, all with different part numbers on the back. So there's probably a big glare, you probably can't see. So I was reading what it was, and the 66, meaning the 230-11066, is specifically for the 3-bolt, which would be 68, 69. Don't need it. And then there's a 65 and a 61 left. Well, the next one in line is a 4-bolt spacer, which is 65, and the 61. Now, there's only 4 bolts here, so this may be for something specific. This may be caliper. This may be from the actual caliper to the bracket, so because it's only 4 bolts in there. So I haven't read that far out, but I know this one works on my car, and the reason I know this is because there's 2 longer bolts. You got to have that. In this particular case, these 3 are short. This one actually goes through the width of your steering arm too. Steering knuckle, whatever you want to call it. So that has to be a longer bolt. And yes, this is still moving. And the reason it's moving is because the strut rod's not there. So if you don't think those are important, you're dead wrong. You have to have those. Both sides are doing this. This seems to be a bit looser than the other side, but like I said, what I'll do is I'll put everything together, and if need be, I'll retighten. Well, I'm going to retighten everything anyway. But anyway, let's get back on to what I'm doing. So I know this is what I need. This needs to go this direction. You see it's offset. According to this, it goes in. There may be something I have to do here to line this up. I don't know yet. So let's get into this. Start bolting this up. I'll probably dry fit stuff first, meaning I'm going to go ahead and put the spindles or the bearings and everything together. The races in the rotors and everything. I want to try to get everything dry fit first before I grease everything. I'm not going to put the seal on in yet, but I want to make sure that everything is going to line up left, right, back, forth, everything like that before I get carried away. So it says this needs to be an angle. Where's my bolt hole? Okay, there it is. So it appears it's supposed to look like this. So let's find out if all the bolt holes actually line up, because so far it's kind of been a hit or miss. everything seems to line up. Not with necessarily them, with the Willwood. I'm just talking about. And I don't know if the bolts go that way or not. I guess I better look. Nuts go on the backside. Nope, bolts go like that. So, okay. These are all locking nuts. Seems to be an awful lot of washers. Apparently I'm going to have to read just a bit more. These look like a 12 point. Boy, these are really small nuts. I mean, super thin. I mean, it's not like it's going to go anywhere. There's 4 of them holding it, but still, it's like. There's other brake sets out there, obviously, other brake kits and stuff. And so I'm not telling you to get this particular one. I bought this one because it was relatively inexpensive. And I just kind of want to make sure, you know, this isn't ever going to be, like I told you before, it's not a race car. It's not what it was intended for, not what it's going to be. Okay, that ain't it. I guess 7/16 probably or something. Or 10. I didn't even look. Didn't grab wrenches. My bad. Let's see here. Let's get a 3/8 and let's get a 10 just to make sure. And an 11. Alright, I don't know. Just could have took the nut with me. Walk in front of the camera again. Professional to the end. 11 seems to fit pretty good. Let's do that. Oh, hey. Oh, it's 9/16. I'll torque everything down. Like I said, first things first. I want to make sure this is going to work. I don't want a whole bunch of stuff in the way. Plus, I need to get this kind of together so I can start looking at the wheels. Right now, I'm kind of stuck with, I don't know what wheel is going to fit with this brake combination. Okay. All right, like I said, this is not torque. This is not permanent. This is, I'm just checking fitment. Like I said, I've got some things I've got to get done. Okay. With that on there. There's a left and right rotor, of course. Let me just see. 5 by 4.5. Thickness. 1 pair each, left and right. 2. Yep, they're in different boxes, of course. I got one of them dug out. Let me see which side I got here. Hopefully it tells me. Oh, you know what? They are not. I forgot. I did not get the drilled. They had a drilled and slotted one, or drilled, slotted, whatever it was. They had that, and then they had an option of getting the calipers done in red instead of just a natural. And I just chose the cheaper way. I think these were under $500 for the set or the kit, but of course that's no master cylinder. It does come with braided hoses and everything. I'm going to try to get the part number off of the pads. I'm going to try to get another set of pads ordered just in case we can't get them later on, you know, that kind of stuff. Oh, there is actually races in here. Oh, that's nice. I put the races in there. Let me get this cleaned up. It's got packing dust in it everywhere. Alright, let me go get the
Go get the bearing. Well, let's see, which one of those? Probably this one. Come with several different boxes, all kinds of stickers. Yep. Again, putting them together dry, not going to torque, grease, put seals in, nothing. So this really isn't a how-to necessarily. This is more of a, is this going to work for my application? And what wheel combination can I make fit on this? Because I don't have wheels ordered, and one of the biggest reasons why is because of this. Is because I have no idea, because what I was looking at was several different combinations of wheel tire fitment, and what we're running into was there was like I said, I'm not putting a seal on, I'm just checking. I probably should have emery papered that off. I may take all that off and make sure this fits on. Yep, that fits on there. I'm just checking. That fits on there. All right. See how much crap I got out. Necessarily have to have that washer on there. And again, if you're coming in this in the middle, I am not greasing anything. I'm not putting this together permanent. Oh, come on. I'm gonna have to take that cap off there. That thing is on there good. Good night. That little castle nutty looking thing. Here with everything out. Oh my goodness. Come on. Oh, that thing is tight. Come on. Oh, it's way bigger than that. I bet you I don't even have a socket over here for that. Nope. Never have all the tools. Never. I want to go with a socket, or do I just want to? What do we got here? In front of the camera again. Come on, 1/16. Oh, okay. So you put that on, and then it never comes off again. I got it. 1/16. Nothing's torquing. I'm not turning anything. I just want to make sure it's tight on there. All right. That's what I needed to know. Now, there's probably a left and right caliper. I don't know. Let's find out what the part numbers are. Oh, it just dumped its guts out all over the box. Warning. Big yellow one in there. pt.23.4.5.1 brake fluid. Do not exceed 1200 psi. Okay. I'm trying to dig it out of the box. Hang on. Well, 7178's the part number on it. Sorry guys, I know I'm off camera. I'm just double checking this left and right here, seeing what the part numbers are the same. It's possible they are the same. '71, '78, same part numbers. So
in this particular case, left and right does not make any difference. Yeah. So this has to go like this because that's where the bracket is. Yep. So I bet you it's this box right here is the mounting hardware. Like I said a minute ago. Although there's 6 bolts in it. Maybe I better, oh, I opened the wrong one. It's this one. Because this has got shims in it, and I bet you $5 you got to move stuff around to line everything up. That's not uncommon. You're dealing with aftermarket stuff. They realize that there's going to be some things that are going to change the offset. And I haven't got that far in the instructions, but I'm almost positive. Going to have to shim that some. And it'll shim between this side, yeah. So it'll go on this side. That will move this left and right, basically, is what it is. So, but first, let's just do it this way, and find the bolt hole. There's one. Okay. This is a 4-piston caliper also, by the way, if that makes any difference. There's also 4 bleeders. I don't know if you have to bleed each one of them individual. Maybe so, don't know. All right, it's not like tight, but it's tight enough. So right now I'm not going to worry about setting the depth on this yet, although it could throw off. Maybe I better, because it may throw off if it's over this way, it may throw off my wheel clearance. So let me read through the instructions a bit more, find out exactly which direction it needs to be. Well, I can already see I got a lot more gap on the front side than I do the back. So let me read through the instructions a little bit more, and I will bring you back again. It's more of a, you got to do it right. I don't have the pads in, and I may have to get a set of pads out and put them in to, like I said, to make sure that it's right. So I'll bring you back here in just a minute. All right, after looking at the instructions and actually reading them, it says put 3 of them washers between there to begin with. And that actually lined her up pretty close. See if I can get this in here and show you what I'm talking about. Initially, that gap between the rotor and the caliper, I don't know, can't really tell. And then on this side, it's almost exactly the same. My camera work sucks, but it's basically the same. By putting, I'm sure I can be able to see on that side, 3 washers right there between the caliper bracket and the caliper. Those are kind of the goldy, coppery looking ones. And that's where you start at. So that's what I did. Come on, get in there. Come on, there you go. I knew you could do it. So now I brought the pads over just to make sure. You pull the pin, rubber band in. These are all the same part number pad. They do not change. Slide in from the top. pinhole goes to the top. Obviously, make sure the friction material goes towards the rotor on both sides. And those go in there like that. Now, right now, like I said, they're not. There's not much going on, so I'm just kind of holding it there in place. Let's see what kind of gap I got. I probably shouldn't be spinning them bearings without no grease in them. Now, mind you, they're not. My chair I'm sitting on is giving up on me. Nothing is yeah, the gap themselves look almost exactly the same. So I won't really know until everything is bled. You know, I'll run the hose and get everything bled up, read the instructions on how to do that. But like I said, the biggest reason I did this was to miss, so I could get my wheels on the way, because everything is just taking forever to get here. And I don't want to be, the wheel I'm looking at is at least 2 months out anyway. Month and a half, 2 months out. And that's if I can get the sizes I want. So I may have to go to a different wheel that I'll run. Obviously, I don't have a choice. I did find a couple of sets of factory wheels, but they're 14-inch and they were not designed for disc brake. They were designed for drum. There is a difference. I have a set of 4 Mustang factory 14-inch drum wheels off of a 60, I think they were off of 65 or 6, I don't remember. 5-lug. They'll work on the rear end, but they will not work on this. I can already tell you just by the way the design, there's no way that's going to mess. So this is not put together. This was not a how-to video or anything. This was just a quick show you. It was actually pretty easy. As you saw, nothing is torqued, nothing is done. I got to take everything back apart again. So I'm going to do a little bit more cleanup on the sealing, where the seal surface is. Of course, then I have to pack the bearings, put everything together there, make sure that's done. Before I do all that, though, I'd really like to have that radius arm in and the sway bar on, because I can get everything better without this stuff in the way. So that's going to be my priority. Get everything done on the front end. I did put that strut, or that brace that went across from frame to frame, went underneath the engine. I did put that back on just to make sure that was done. And now I'm going to get the steering assembly stuff off, and then start figuring out. I got all my hoses now for the power steering. I'm going to see if I can incorporate it on the pump, and I'm going to get a cylinder ordered. I'm not sure about that distribution block. I may just try to use the one that's there, and if it leaks, it leaks, and then I'll just order one and put it in. It's not really difficult. Or I may just buy one off eBay, just, you know, just hope. There's no other words that can describe it. And if it leaks, I'll just buy a rebuild kit for the one I got and just experiment with it, see if I can get it. But anyway, I know we've already talked about that. So like I said, it went together nice. It's a nice looking setup. The rotor is good and robust. I thought that the drag light would be a single rotor, you know, just for drag race only, and not for daily use. But these are vented just like a standard rotor is. And this is a super light car. I know I didn't weigh it and tell you what it was, but I about guarantee this car, with a V8 and everything in it, I don't think it's, even with 2 people, I don't think it's ever going to break 3,500 pounds. So if it does, I'd be surprised. So it's a super light car, and they ran drums like that for years, you know, with minimal issues. So anyway, all right. So I'll bring you back. I might bring you back when I actually do the other side completely, once everything is together. But you kind of get an idea. I mean, it's super simple. I'm glad that the races were already on. It saved a bunch of time putting the races. They already had them in. I didn't have to beat them in. And I did try this on a wheel I have, and it did fit the wheel, but I don't have any lug nuts for it. I'm not going to show you the wheel, because if it doesn't work out, then that's not the wheel you're going to see anyway, so I'm not even going to experiment with it. But I really need the car on the ground once the wheel's on, but I don't have a tire on it, don't have lug nuts, I don't have the strut rods on. I'm still waiting for, like I said, the bushings. I need to go get sway bar bushings, get that on. That can be put on before, ain't no big deal. But I need the weight on the car, so when this comes up, this actually kind of moves out a tad too. So I really need to know, you know, if that wheel's going to work. Is the offset right? Is it going to miss the brakes? Is it going to be inside, outside, you know, of the wheel well? So it all makes a difference. So anyway, I'll bring you back.